Hi everyone, welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectibles. Well, the last 7 months have been amazing. I started this, I think, about April time, this channel, and it's just been great. I've enjoyed every moment of it, but you've all tuned in and seen me do my introductions with this backdrop behind me, which has obviously got my RC cars and various trains and things. But there's this area here that you can see, which is Scalextric's track. Now, when I put the layout in many years ago, I kind of planned this sort of racing course that would be like a rally stage coming up the hill, and then it goes down the back of the layout for Scalextrics, and it kind of worked, but it's never really been that successful, and it's become a bit of a dumping ground, and it hasn't been used in many years. So I've got plans for this area. It's quite a small space, so it's going to be sort of a bookshelf railway, if that's the right word for it. Hopefully narrow gauge. I'm going to tear all of this out, and hopefully you'll come along with me for the journey. And I'd like to put some of the buildings that I've been making for the Metcalf, particularly some of the J&S buildings, onto this area, and yeah, try and make it a little bit more scenic, and yeah, narrow gauge. So yeah, let me show you around what's here, and yeah, join me for the next 3 or 4 videos as I enjoy myself on these couple of days off that I've had to use because I had a couple of days left over on holiday. My wife's back at work, kids are at school, so I've got a couple of days to myself. So I thought, so why not come out into the workshop and play railways? So I'm probably going back now 3 or 4 years when I started sort of rebuilding the railway, and this area here, you probably don't normally see behind the cabinet here, but basically the plan was I had all my controllers around the base here, which and then behind the controllers is a bit of a rat's nest of wires. And then the idea was to sort of have a rally stage in Scalextric. So you can see there the start, comes round, comes up the hill, hairpin bend, then follows round the back here, runs all the way down the back of the layout, all the way down that back wall, and then it curved round just behind the windmill here, and you can see the end of the track. And originally it did have like a spiral coming down to a finish line about where the train is here. Now over time it didn't get used that much. It wasn't very successful. It was a little bit temperamental, and especially over the back here when the cars did come off, you just couldn't get to them. So yeah, it's one of those ideas that kind of fell by the wayside. But I do have this lovely little bit of space here that sits behind me in all the videos that I film. Now above it, you don't see this bit normally. Got my Lego crane sitting on a shelf there. I'm not going to move that. However, the shelves with the RC cars, I am going to try and move them up a little bit to give myself a little bit more room under here. And then I'm going to tear out all of this area and start again with a, as I say, a narrow gauge railway. So let's see how we get on. The first job obviously is to get the Scalextrics up and see what we have here. Well, it's actually created more space than I expected. So yeah, I've got this obviously this gravel laid down where the track was on, and you can see all the, I've forgotten how I did this, where the grass verges, didn't cover all of the areas, just you know, where there was no track I put the grass down. But certainly this piece of wood in front of us, this one here, this has got to come out, and I'm going to leave this in and just carry that on round at the same level, I think. So yeah, next step, I'm going to now mess around with the shelves and try and lift those up a little bit to make a little bit more space. Well, it feels like it's taken me an eternity to move the shelves. So reshuffled them all around. I've managed to get this shelf in at the bottom here, putting the locos on behind me, and now cleared out all of the bits and pieces that were on here, ready to disassemble this unit. Now, one thing I will say, I'm quite surprised. I can't remember how I built this, but it's very sturdy, and there's a bit of wood under there. So yeah, anyway, let's pull this out and see what's underneath it. Well, that did come out fairly easy. There was a piece of wood under there, and yeah, I'm just looking at all the electrics I've got down the back here. I've forgotten I've got all these cleaning modules in here to clean the track. and obviously lots of wires here plugged into various extension leads, obviously all low power, so we're not going to overload anything. But I'm going to take some power off this socket here, I think, for the other circuits that I want to put in. I do need to fix my bridge, because obviously I did rip the corner out, so that'll be my first job. And then I need to decide whether I'm going to relay this piece in front of me here with a piece of wood, or just continue the sort of card round to form a base. I'm kind of thinking I probably need this layout to lift out somehow, so I need to have a little think about that. So a couple of hours later, I pulled out the last bits of the remaining layout. They were all uneven and didn't really work. And I've kind of sorted all the wiring out a little bit, got a little bit neater, and you can see I've put in a new sort of supporting frame that's going to hold the base just above the wires. Now, I have used the card here. You see, this is the sort of modelling card and super glue to hold it together. It's extremely sturdy. I mean, if I just show you, you know, putting the strength on there, and it gives me the sort of versatility where I can make modifications to it as I build the layout. So yeah, next step, let's get the baseboard down and lay out some of the buildings. Well, there you go, that's the baseboard in. It's actually fairly strong, quite pleased with that. I mean, there's a lot of strength in there, and with this sort of board it gives me quite a lot of versatility. I can glue to it easy, I can cut holes in it, and all the things I want to do without making too much of a mess in here. So I just brought a few of the buildings through that I plan to use on here, and I need to start thinking about how to lay this out. I know I do want a second raised level, hence the bridge. That will probably be for the 009, and then on the baseboard just a shunting yard in 00 gauge. Quite pleased with the amount of space I've got. Now, I've not really had a shunting yard before, so I might experiment with digital point, with electric points, sorry, not digital, electric points. And yeah, do please join me as I work through this project. So if this was of interest, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested to follow me on this project, please do subscribe. This is obviously going to run for quite a few weeks while I play with this in the evenings, and yeah, I'll keep you updated on the progress that's made. With that, I'll say thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.